acquire during transition. So let me make this topic very clear that transition can be any part of your life. Like right now, your transition is this Corona timing where you're locked down. You do not have regular colleges. You do not have regular outings and all that. So this transition you can take out, or the transition when you have completed your college and you will be in a set of time frame where you will be searching for job or thinking of doing your further studies, or should I move out of India, what else. So there will be transition period in during every phase of your life. So during that time, what I would suggest everybody is, like, you can work out on your skills where it will help you one or other way when you have to move forward in your career, your personal life, and everything. And when I mean skills, it is just not your career skills or your personal branding skills. It's your own improvement as well, because you have to balance your personal and your work, your career, your life, and everything. So when I speak, it's always like, equally for both your personal and your working skills as well. So I will tweak this topic a little bit as making of an engineer. The skills acquired during transition and making of an engineer is somewhere linear. Okay, so because most of you all are from engineering background, and yes, this will apply for other students who are in arts and science as well. But I'm particularly I'm not going to bound you all to only to engineering students, or this topic is only for civil engineer, mechanical engineer. It's not like that. This topic which we are going to discuss further is definitely for everybody who wants to be a sustainable leader. Okay, so I'm going to tweak this topic as making of an engineer, because this is how it is. Like, generally what doctors do, they try to treat everyone, no matter it's a plant or it's an animal or a human being. So doctor's job is to treat when there is a problem within the body or within the cells or something. But the engineer's work is to resolve or find out solution, maybe temporary or permanent, for any kind of situation. It is not just in companies, it is not just at any factories, field, or anything. Anywhere, when you have turned on yourself to find a resolution for any set of problems, then you become an engineer. And how do we keep these things to be remembered in our mind is like, when I try to tell it as a story, and when I try to tell it more like a way where you'll be attracted, that's where you will be able to remember whatever I've told. So I believe in that. If you want someone to remember your message in a presentation, an article, or a report, tell them a story. So I am going to be very interactive and very cool enough to speak a story about three important things, like which is in the current trend, because I would love to go on and on, but because of the time frame, I'm going to stick on to three topics. So that will be a story of three different modules, which is on the current trend. Okay, so fine. So I have mentioned target students as mechanical, computer, electrical, electronic, civil engineer, biotechnology, but you are all not restricted to any of this. If you have your passion into that stream, you can definitely take it up and move on. So I'm not restricting this to that target students alone. I have just mentioned based on your college's courses which you have. But any art student and any science student also can utilize this PPT and develop the spark in you and see how well you can, excel in the field you want to. So who's an engineer? According to me, like I told, whoever is able to resolve something in the real life situation. So you need not, always think of like Benjamin Franklin or Albert Einstein or Thomas Alva Edison to be in a very innovative way that you have to invent something. It's not like that. You can also be a very good engineer when you start resolving problems in day-to-day life. So I have certain set of day-to-day life crisis which we are going through, climate crisis. We don't know where, for example, the agricultural people, they don't know when it's going to rain, when it's going to be too hot, when it's going to be too humid, and accordingly they have to work it out. But say at any season, at any humidity, at any sun level, if they're able to do their agriculture without any disturbance, then that's a great job which an engineer has done. And you can get clean water. Tell me how many percent of Indians are getting clean water and it's accessible to them. I have seen in places like Bombay, even such metro, big metro. I have seen the low under poverty people use the clutter water, which comes through the stream, right? They call it as ditch. They use that water, boil it to their methods. However, they use it for washing and all that, trying to filter it. So if you're able to get clean water, then nothing like it. You can give your resolution in that. Then providing enough food, personalized and relevant education, if you're able to make a resolution for students to understand what they have to take next, yes, still it's a resolution kind. Then improving healthcare, refugee crisis. We have n number of refugees coming back to India, searching, house and trying to find a living and all that. Then cyber security, enlisting the youth. Enlisting the youth is the most important point. Generally, after your colleges, these young students go out of track, where they don't know where to start, how to start, which company to go, and all that. If you're able to find a solution, trying to giving them a portal on where to find their jobs for freshers, what all they can do, and all that, well, still that's a resolution. So being an engineer doesn't start from inventing anything. You can give problems to real life solution, and that's where engineering starts. So you making of an engineer starts when you're able to give solution to all your real life problems. So if you have started doing that, then you are an engineer. So based on these, I am going to get into topics, like where all engineers have excelled, and it is not such a great invention or something. They have made a very simple way, but it has helped them a lot for all people who are under poverty, underprivileged, who have less technical knowledge and all that. So as you have seen this pictures on the screen, which is cluttered, where I will explain what is it. So if anybody is able to understand what is this ocean cleanup, just put one word immediately. What are you able to understand with the topic called ocean cleanup? Anybody? So I'm watching the chat. If anybody is able to tell me what is ocean cleanup, then I will just take one answer, assuming that you're all listening to me, and I can move on. So what do you think ocean cleanup can be, and what do you think the engineer there is working about? Anybody? Anybody is able to tell me what's ocean cleanup? Okay, I will keep that on wait. Meanwhile, I'll explain the rest of the pictures on this. If somebody is able to tell me what is ocean cleanup, from there I will continue. So the other pictures where here the engineers are working in food industry company, where they're able to use the robotics, and mechanical engineers are working on how to pack things and how to get things without hand driven, and it should be hygienic and all that. So this is an engineer who's working on solar panel, and this is an doctor, but actually engineers who are into helping them identify the healthcare industry's drawbacks and crisis. And then this is the cyber security lock system, and this is genetic engineering, where they're working to keep the animals without getting extincted, without getting the numbers reduced, and how well we can utilize them. And this is about electric cars, where that will be the future of the cars. And this is about agricultural, where the farmer is able to give pesticides to all the total overfield, without, like, disturbing the crop, as well as at the time with time reduction and all that. And this is one more engineer who's working on windmill and all that. So till also waste management. Okay, right. Pankaja and anybody else. I'll just go through if anybody else has mentioned. Okay, I'm sorry if I've missed it, but I was able to see Miss Pankaja, who has mentioned about waste management. That's absolutely right. So this ocean cleanup was set up by engineers where they have done a very simple job of cleaning up the ocean, and nobody they all probably others, probably their parents and probably people in the country would have told why they are trying to do this when there is n number of work to be done. And without ocean, without this balance, our earth wouldn't stay still. We will be going towards, the end of the world and all that. So this innovative team has taken up this thing called ocean cleanup, where they clean the ocean and take the residuals whichever is found in the ocean, and then they start working on how to reproduce, like, recycle those waste and all that. And it's a very simple project. All they are doing is, they're having elastic and rubber based net where it collects all the waste, and that is taken inside the ship, and that has been segregated. That's all. It was a very simple invention, but they are doing something very great where, without the sea animals, without the ocean, we would not have a proper ecological balance. So I'm just saying the level of invention or innovation might be very simple, but still it might end up doing wonders, and there will be people admiring at you. So engineers can do wonders by doing a very very small invention, a very small innovation, a very small step towards building the or developing the economy. Okay, so this is about a vague idea of what engineers are doing. So yes, removing plastic, Bala Suryan, correct, exactly, removing plastic. So that's one type. So thank you for involving. So I understand everybody's interactive here and you're all listening, and I am having a wonderful set of listeners, so thank you so much for that. So we are going to the next topic. So right now, as I was asking who's an engineer and who becomes an engineer and all that. So engineer is everything. If you are an engineer, you are everything. You will be able to resolve anything under the sun. So you have to just believe that. Okay. So what's the topic which we are going to see for the next 30 minutes is on the current trends and combining multidiscipline. So why did I choose this topic is because you students are somewhere, somehow stuck up to one streamline. Okay. One streamline doesn't help now, children. You can't simply stick with one kind of stream, and you can't be a global competitor. You have to start working on multidiscipline. If you're into computers, you must know a little bit of electrical and electronics. You must know a little bit of mechatronics or mechanical. You have to know a little bit of civil, everything. So you have to decide what are the other streams you're going to start learning. So I'm just going to throw some insight, some spark in your mind, and it is up to you to decide what you want to be by taking multidiscipline into your career level and your personal growth. Okay, so I'm just going to explain three different examples. There are n number of examples. I have just taken few which is on current trend, which will be the boom for next 10 years, and which has been researched on n number of platform and all that. So I have taken such three topics, but I would suggest every one of you to think in your mind, use Google, and there is nothing which you want get on Google. You type any question, even if it is wrong, it is going to give you 1,000 search results. Okay, so Google engine is one good advantage for you to explore and find out new ideas and all that. So I will suggest each and every engineering student to see what else you can add up to your stream in such a way that you become a global competitor. And I am not telling that, I'm not trying to scare you, and I'm not trying to tell that you have to develop n number of things and all that. No, but it's truth that you have to adapt to the changes, right? There was a time where data analysis and data trend were on top, data mining. For example, let's take Saravana stores. Most of you are from Chennai, probably. Let's take Saravana stores. And how do you think Saravana stores is able to put up such a big propaganda about his shop, and it runs immediately the moment he starts? He just builds the building, he brings all the source, and by then he is able to make profit. The shop goes without facing any loss. There might be, but it does goes on a very notable development, right? How do you think it is able to do so? All he did was he invested on data trends and data analysis. In the first shop, he took note of how many people who are coming in, which all areas they're coming in from, what are the goods they were searching, what they did not find, what they found, what was brought n number of times. For example, let's take the oil item. He will check which oil went out from his resource for more number of times. So, for example, let's keep it as Fortune Gold oil. So he knows in Chennai, Fortune Gold oil has got n number of demand, and when the demand change, he will know the demand is going to change because he's got data mining and data analysis friend. So that's how, and people started adapting to it. Saravana stores, we don't know if Saravana stores had so much of technology knowledge, but he started investing on it and he got adapted to the changes, right? So hereafter also there will be n number of changes, and you will be able to sustain when you are able to adapt to the change. So that's where the Charles Darwin theory comes in, right? Survival to the fittest, where you are able to survive and fit among the crowd which is existing. You can't simply tell that no, I'm not going to do anything else, I'm going to stick on with my own topic, my own engineering, and I'm going to develop in it and all that. You can tell that, but it's not going to work out for the next decade. So I thought it is better I give you this idea, I give you the spark where you will be able to start looking into it thereafter. Okay, so we are going to see this three topics where it will be involved with electric cars, UAV drones and 3D printing, and the biotechnology engineering in Corona pandemic. Okay, so most of you will be aware of what is electric cars. So electric cars is somewhere, it's like, they are going to make it electric driven, and not like the conventional model. And the fuel, the usage of fuel would be there in hybrid cars and all that, but pure electric cars will not have any kind of fuel. So they thought they have developed this in such a way that this reduces the pollution and the global warming and all that. So this is how the researchers were developing. So generally, when a particular model, or when a particular product is being taken to the next level, they always do a research on how well this is going to be utilized on the grounds, and how well the global warming or the economic development or the pollution decreasing and all is going to happen. So who all can be involved in electric cars is like, computer engineering, chemical engineering, electrical engineers, and power electronics, mechanical engineers, automobile engineers. I've just mentioned few, but all these engineers can work into electric cars. So if I'm telling you that you have completed automobile engineering and you would like to get into an electric cars, no, it's not possible. You have to understand a few language about electrics and electronics or the chemicals and all that, then you will be able to be a good competitor or a good candidate to get into a electric car company. So let's look at how this thing works. Okay, so this is a basic model. Like, this will exactly look like any conventional car, just that instead of fossil fuel, they will start using plugins, and they'll start using power stations to take the charge the battery and move on. But there are few disadvantages. It's like, this is definitely a disruptive technology which is going to come up for every conventional car. For example, in the car வந்துடுச்சு அப்படின்னா மத்த ஆல்ரெடி இருக்கிற கார் எல்லாம் நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? So definitely this is disruptive, right? இதுக்காக கோடி கோடியா வந்து எல்லா கார் கம்பெனிஸும் வந்து அவங்களோட ஸ்பேர்ஸ், அவங்களோட ப்ரொடக்ஷன், அவங்களோட லைன் யூனிட்ல வந்து they would have invested and all that. And this fourth industrial revolution, when it comes in, definitely there is going to be a disruptive change. Why it's disruptive? Because already the conventional model has invested a lot, and the same space, we don't know if it will be able to be used in electric cars or not. So this change, this convention is going to take n number of people into being the stakeholder, and n number of people's basic life standard will be changed, n number of people's way of earning, way of looking into will change. So definitely this is going to be a disruptive technology. And then but on the other hand, there are many companies who have developed and started investing on EVs. EVs, that is electric vehicles. So, example, Ford, they have already announced and they have invested $11 billion in it. Okay, and this car, as it looks, I don't think so. It's going to be as eco-friendly as they have mentioned. So, the same way of pollution is going to happen, burning out the electricity and all that. So definitely there is going to be a disadvantage on that part, and there will be a small recession in between, and there will be people who are against it. There will be people who are going to talk more disadvantage about it until it comes on the field. Exactly. And the major challenge will be recharging, because for every 50 kilometers or for every 100 kilometers we might find a petrol station or a diesel station or a fuel station, but finding for every 50 kilometer or for every 100 kilometer, finding a plug-in station, that is the one which charges the electric car, might be challenging, one thing. And second thing, however you charge, you're going to have, like just like the way we have our phone, we keep taking a battery, right? We keep checking it's 100%, 80%, 60%, 30%. When it's 20%, we have a kind of panic because it might go off anytime. And whoever has got iPhone will be like, okay, 2% is there and I can go for half day. But we don't know how is the electric cars charge gonna stand up. How is it gonna, like, will you be able to reach up to the next place? Because if there is no petrol, what you can do, you can go take a bottle, fill up with petrol, come back, pour it and go. But electric cars are not the same. You can't fill up electricity in any of the device and charge it or something. So probably like how we started having mobile power banks, we will go into invention of power banks after that. So there are the electric car might seem like it's got more disadvantage, but the researchers, the investors, all the stakeholders will start working it out to bring it on track with n number of, if you have 10 disadvantage, they are going to give 1,000 reasons and 1,000 advantages to, and 1,000 way of work culture, 1,000 employee benefits, 1,000 work hiring and all that is going to happen. So you can start working on how well you can utilize this electric car more to get into, like, for your future and all that. Like the recharging station itself is a good investment, like like having a petrol bunk, you can own your own electric plugins, so that the cars can come and take the electricity and then go on. So recharging is going to be a challenge, but you can start working on it like that. Okay, so that is a small, okay, I'm sorry, there is a small video. Is it audible for all of you? Yeah. So that was a good video and a good trailer about what Nissan has explained on how the actual electric vehicles work and why is it efficient. And just like that, they have mentioned it is just one pedal, one pedal working mode where you have to just release it, just like the other cars which we used to play in our theme parks. You remember where you have to pedal it and it goes accelerated, and when you remove you can manage the speed and all that. So it's going to happen to your real life car, where all you have to do is efficiently keep sitting and driving, and you don't have to worry about the accelerator and clutch and all that. So of course the accelerator, but not worrying about the clutch and all that. So this is going to be a very effective, very world winning technology and innovation. Yes. So how are we going to work on this transition? Okay, I am able to see a number of questions on my chat, and I believe Mr. Wahid is taking note of any important questions which I can explain at the last, because we do have a 15 minutes of or a
Yeah,
10
sure,
minutes of
ma'am.
session. Yeah. So somebody had asked about funding for the I mean the charging
Yeah,
station and
everything
all
is
that.
being noted down,
So
no problem.
yeah, please, yeah. So I'm going to go to the next slide, and I'm not able to see the slide, Wahid.
Yeah, the slide is coming up.
Wahid,
Yeah, just
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we are going to look into who are all the engineers who can start looking for an opportunity when it comes to your job career in this field, electric cars. It's like basically for, of course, mechanical engineers and automobile engineers, then computer engineers, because you will have to work on a lot of switch and drives and all that, where the car has to be able to respond to the microprocessors and microcontrollers. Okay, and is it up, Wahid? Can I?
yeah, just a moment.
Yeah, sure, I can do it. And then for especially for chemical engineers, you have to start working on the batteries which can sustain and which can have a long life battery period. Because the drive is all about you reach in time, and every time you're not able to reach because of the battery down is gonna disrupt, or it's gonna push this electric cars upcoming. So overall, this evolution is evident. This is going to happen. Electric cars are going to be the boom in the next coming 10 years. So whoever is going to complete your college and come out, you can start expecting opportunities in this field. And who are all the engineers who can involve, like I have mentioned in my PPT, is chemical engineers. As I have mentioned, you have to understand the lithium batteries, what kind of chemicals you can use and what kind of ions you can give in, so that the battery's power can withstand for a longer time of period. And then electrical engineers, obviously you have to work on that electrical circuit that allows the gas engine to charge the battery. And there will be one more model where it's a hybrid vehicle, where the fuel will be used just to ignite the engine, and then later on the powers will be charged up to the battery, and then the car will start working, moving in battery mode. So that definitely those companies who have already invested on the conventional vehicle spares will start working on hybrid model, where you can use the foil as fossil fuel and as well as the electric car. So definitely the hybrid model also will be in boom. So that's where electrical engineers part of work will be higher, and power electronic engineers, where they're responsible for controlling and converting electrical powers, and especially components like inverters, voltage converters, controller units. And they are waiting for 118 such solutions who will come and help them on power electronics. I'm telling, there are, just like inverters, voltage converters, and controller units, there are still 118 requirements where they want to convert this according to the electric cars. So they will start taking people who can work with their R&D department and all that. Then software engineers, obviously you have to create the entire design of the EV software. You can't simply work it like on a conventional mode method. Then plastic engineer, this is one what say a very interesting fact you have to see in this, like plastics will start playing major roles. So you can understand, I was like talking about this ocean cleanup, right? You can start connecting, you can start working with people to get in plastic resources, you can start upscaling and working on the cycle of plastics to make plastic components, because you can't put in every steel or iron made or aluminum made for the electric cars like the conventional cars. You have to start working on few electric spares where the plastic spares that helps the electric cars to work efficiently without getting glitched, without having that power glitch and all that. So plastic engineering is one stream which you can definitely start looking up and start working, and it will definitely help the recycling of plastics in a very absolute mode. Okay, so this is about the electric cars, and we can definitely speak on it during our question session if there is any other doubt you want to understand about it. And we are going to the next topic, which is UAV drones and 3D printing. So UAV drones and 3D printing is nothing but the current revolution on civil engineering. So generally, civil engineers are always stuck up to few things where they have to use that basic method of mixing the concrete, developing the skeleton of the building, and then pouring the concrete. And you start making a basic model, put the drawings and all that. And all that has been simplified as UAV drones now, where you have to just send up the UAV, and that gives you a graphic representation of how and where you have to put the pillars and where you have to erect it, how is the landfill. And they use the QGIS system, quantum geospatial information, where they understand whether this area will be a flood zone or a landfill zone, or if, how well it's going to be able to sustain the water flow or the air force and all that. And the 3D printing is where the robots and the AI technology will be used to develop a concrete solid method where you have to just pick it up and fix. Initially, we had this in 3D printing blocks. We only had the concrete blocks where you have to build the walls, but now the wall itself is ready. Okay, so who all can get into this mode? It's like civil engineers again, computer engineers, automobile engineers, mechanical engineers can start looking into UAV, because you have to build your own UAV drone. You have to understand what kind of fabrication and all that you need to mix for a 3D printing. You can't use the same amount of that fabrication, the cement works for 3D printing and all that. So you will start involving and identifying what are all the challenges you will face when you take this current rundown. So this building information modeling is where and as I have explained, the productivity gap will be totally down, because in a very big construction site, what do you see? You see your site engineers, you see all the contractors, the maestries, and all the people who are working in every different location. And the site engineer has to go check and note down if the improvisation is happening according to the draft which you have put. But this particular UAV will definitely reduce the cost, definitely bridge the gap between the productivity, and it is less dangerous. You can't send a site engineer to go to the edge of the building to identify if the building has come out to the correct shape which you want, but instead it is very easy for your drone to go to the every 360 direction and understand how the building is. And similarly 3D also, when you want 10 similar kind of construction to happen, there might be mistakes, or there might be not 1% mistake done by human, and because of material cost, because of the proper improper fabrication and all that. But 3D printing will be like exactly like the molds, where you get all 10 exactly without any kind of material waste, without any kind of deviation in the measurements and all that. So this is how this trend is going to be, and you can start working and looking into how well you can identify your workforce in it. But as I told for electric vehicles, and as I'm telling for this UAV method, you should start considering how well you can utilize the people who are underprivileged and who are working for this space. Like if you in a construction site, there will be 100 maestries and 100 helpers and around 50 to 20 site engineers. You shouldn't utilize technology to eradicate their job. You should utilize technology to make their job easy. Okay, So you can start thinking in that mode. Okay, so again I have a video to play for 3D printing. There is a company who has developed UAV drone and 3D printing together. A very what say amazing innovation. We were all thinking of only drone, and there were companies who were thinking only about 3D, and there was some genius who developed both in one particular program. Wahid, can you please play that video
Yes,
where
ma'am. Video
we'll be
coming.
able to witness, yeah, well, where we'll be able to witness that 3D printing and UAV drone has gone hand in hand. So this is by that company.
I love drones really because of the technology involved in it and the potential in terms of applications for these systems. It's just a toy shop for me. I see a piece of flying code.
Can you
I never look at the
put on
clock
the
and I
subtitle
just
so others
play all
can
day long
understand?
doing
There's a
what I love
subtitle in
doing,
the
and
CC.
that is solve problems, design and create new parts, components and systems. 3D printing helps a lot. The rapid prototyping ability, it's crucial.
And then
You have to just continuously keep asking yourself questions. How does this work? Why does this work like this? And I guess that drives me. 3D printing allows us to create a part and test it without being restricted to having to create large volumes of parts. We can continuously adapt and adopt and improve and evolve, which is very important. It gives us a lot of flexibility. This way, using the 3D printing, I can get exactly what I want. I find it rewarding to be able to create something I can hold in my hands afterwards, and the rapid turnaround makes life much easier. Over time, 3D printing will become more and more accessible. For us as a small-ish business, it's a big improvement. It means that we can produce our own parts, test them, look at them. We don't have to involve a third party to produce a product that usually ends up not being exactly like the way I want it. Even if a part isn't going to end up becoming 3D printed, it does allow us to print it and take a look at the component and get a feel of the physical dimensions rather than look at it on a computer screen and experience blindness. I always think of the drones that we see now as the microcomputers that we saw 20, 30 years ago. It is exactly the same feeling and sensation to me. So I feel like this young child that was completely obsessed by computer systems, and it feels exactly the same with the drones and all the technology associated. I just have the benefit of all the skills I've accumulated over all those years. There are so many possibilities. This way, using the 3D printing, I can get exactly what I want.
Right. So I need the PPT. Yeah. So fine. So these are the, it's a fact that these are the areas where you can start working on, and this in building information modeling and UAV drones and 3D printing. These are the type of, jobs, job securities or workforce is gonna apply. Like, cloud and mobile technology, because you have to understand the area, the source, how much resource you will need and all that. Then augmented reality. Augmented reality is one more thing which you can start looking into. You don't have to develop a building or a 3D model directly, which is physical. You can develop a 3D model in augmented reality using laser lights and all that, where you're able to see the information without wasting the resource. Okay, and then artificial intelligence, robotics, smart building, home analytics. You can start looking into the interiors of it. It's not just the construction site and everything. You can, ladies who are into civil engineering, who can, have a very secure job into understanding the interiors and all that. And autonomous vehicles, because you will start needing autonomous vehicles to go to that height. Not always a man or a crane or man operated vehicles will be used, construction equipments will be used during construction. Autonomous vehicles like this, vehicles will start carrying things to the required spot and all that. And then intelligent built environment, and then predictive analysis, prefabrication. Fabrication is part of your civil engineering, but prefabrication will start helping you analyze what all is required, and so you start reducing on the cost and reducing on the waste material and all that. Then wearable technology, like you start varying your eye gears and all that, and you're able to see the distance, how long you need, the length and all that. And smart building work, timber construction. So you can start looking into n number of business opportunities and n number of job opportunities through this current UAV drone and 3D printing will give you n number of job opportunities in these construction industries. Okay, and it's not just for civil engineer, as I told, in multidiscipline. Like as I told, it's automobile engineer, mechanical engineer, civil engineer, computer engineer, software programmers. They will need all of them. So you can start working into that mode. So this is second type. Then now I'm going into the third type, which is like the current situation which is happening on corona pandemic. We are all, I have to tell you a very saddening fact. You know what happened in the last generation, on I wouldn't say last generation, to your seniors who had completed biotechnology. What do you think had happened to them when they had completed their biotechnology course? Generally what happened to those students, in spite of their professors, in spite of their lecturers, in spite of college giving them n number of opportunity in biotechnology field, they are very scared, they feel very insecure and choose the IT field. When your campus interview comes, you have seen, other than your computer engineering students, the biotechnology students getting into, the company will convince you by telling that we can train you in testing, and you accept it and you go, because you're all very focused on the money, the monetary terms. Okay, in your life skill, you should be ready for a growth, for an innovation, and for a sustainable development. You can't simply study biotechnology where you had involved n number of people for your growth, and all of a sudden switch a course which is not at all related to you. Okay, you could have chosen an IT company which is working on biotechnology or a drug or a bioeconomics and all that, like that. So what has happened in our previous set, I can understand through the research, is where the children who had opted IT industry instead of biotechnology, where I would say most of us in India have failed to find the testing kit of corona pandemic. If all of us who had studied biotechnology had gone to our stream, are we not eligible, or do you think we are not having enough brain to develop a testing kit in India, and we were so dependent on China? Right, so you should use this example to understand where biotechnology plays a very important role in our economic and in a very healthy environment. So what are the challenges and opportunities for a biotechnology research community during this virus pandemic is my topic, but I'm going to help you understand who else, what are all the multidisciplines who can get into this field, and what biotechnology engineering can actually do. You are very much eligible to find a testing kit in India, and we don't have to be very much resilient or very much dependent on the China for that. And that's where he has won. That is what he wanted, and he has won. In the Ela Marivu movie Madri, that was a BioR, and we have fallen for it. And do you think we are not eligible to find that namak andalo kadivilliya Indians kitta இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கொரோனா பேண்டமிக் டெஸ்ட் கிட் பண்ண முடியாத அளவுக்கு? Why did we fail is because lack of people into that field. You need someone to force and tell you, and you have somebody has to give you an assurance saying that biotechnology field will have a good boom, and then you start working in it. நீங்க கிடைக்கணும், உங்களுக்கு ஒரு இன்ஜினியரிங் ஃபீல்டு கிடைக்கணும்னு பயோடெக்னாலஜி எடுத்துறீங்க. உங்களுக்காக உங்க ப்ரொஃபசர்ஸ் அண்ட் லெக்சர்ஸ் வந்து என் நம்பர் ஆஃப் டாபிக்ஸ் அவங்க ஒரு உலகத்தையும் உங்க முன்னாடி கொண்டாந்து எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிருப்பாங்க. பட் அட் த எண்ட் யூ ட்ரை ஆப்டிங் ஐடி பிகாஸ் தட் இஸ் ஈஸியர் அண்ட் தட்ஸ் வேர் யூ ஃபீல் செக்யூர்ட். ஐ எம் நாட் பிளேமிங், ஐ எம் நாட் பீயிங் ரூட், நான் உங்களை யாரையுமே திட்டல. பட் திஸ் இஸ் வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங் இன் ரியாலிட்டி. பட் இன்ஸ்டன்ட் நான் இப்போ வந்து உங்களுக்கு இந்த எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்தேன் அப்படின்னா you will be able to understand how biotechnology is very important like every other job. Not just IT job is important, I'm telling you. இந்த கொரோனால நீங்க நிறைய விஷயம் பார்த்திருப்பீங்க. ஒர்க் ஃப்ரம் ஹோம் வந்து வெறும் ஐடிக்கு தான் கொடுக்க முடிஞ்சது. Why not to any other production company? Why not to the cleaning company? Why not to the security company? Why not to the janitor company? So எல்லா ஜாபும் எசென்ஷியலா வந்து requires actual manpower. And just like biotechnology, எல்லாத்தையுமே நம்ம ஒர்க் ஃப்ரம் ஹோம் பண்ணி எல்லாத்தையுமே டெக்னாலஜில பண்ணி எல்லாத்தையும் நம்ம கம்ப்யூட்டர்ல பண்ணிட முடியாது. So that's where this plays an important role, and whoever has taken biotechnology is going to be a part of the economic development, and you have to be proud about it. And let's see who else can get into this, right? So I am going to show an example of how the other companies are working on this corona pandemic. So generally unga ellarkum biotechnology படிச்சவங்க and general as in you will all be able to understand that we need medicine, we need testing kits, we need vaccination, we need therapeutic devices, we need treatment services, we need diagnosis code, we need procedures code, we need everything that is required for like any other medical treatment, right? So I'm showing you innovators in biopharmaceutical company, what else they are able to do. Okay, so this AbbVie company is working on HIV medicines to treat COVID. It was an innovative thinking. You don't have to always find a new medicine. Try out medicines which we had. And I think in Facebook we had a meme, right? There was a meme which said நிலவேம்பு கசாயம் வந்து கொரோனாக்காக கொடுக்க சொன்னாங்க. சோ அந்த நிலவேம்பு கசாயம் வந்து இந்த கவுண்டமணி மாதிரி இட் ட்ரை டு டெல் அ டயலாக். இது என்னது, டெங்குனா நான் சமாளிச்சுப்பேன், கொரோனா நான் ட்ரை பண்றேன் அப்படின்னுட்டு. சோ unless and until you try with medicines and you'll not know what is going to happen. But for that matter, we can't forsake the patient's life as well. They are trying, but that's a good initiative because HIV AIDS also was a kind of virus. So they were trying to understand whether this can be utilized for COVID. Okay, and there was this Agastya Biotech which is working on molecule AB001. That's a type of anti-cancer medicine which they can use it for COVID. And they are taking this company Altimmune is taking on single dose intranasal. That is like a vaccine where you take it in a single dose and you will be able to, because there are few viruses where you need to take 2-3 doses. So they are working on vaccine which will help them to recover in one single dose. Then therapeutic devices is the ventilators and masks which you need. For example, who has got the breathing problem and pneumonia has to be on nebulizer for 10 days, 15 days. So those are therapeutic devices. So BioAgix is working on therapeutic devices which will help ventilate people with who are having corona without spreading it for others. And then Biohaven is working on ways patients, okay, which is working on the lung inflammation. Because we don't know what are the parts which is getting affected other than if you yourself have corona. நம்ம சும்மா பேசுறோம் கொரோனா கொரோனான்னு, மத்தவங்களை பாக்குறோம், இருமல் வருது, அது வருது, இது வருது, தொண்டையில இருந்து சளி எடுத்து செக் பண்றாங்க. பட் we don't know what are all the parts that is affected. So they're working on lung inflammation, how that can be reduced and all that. And then they are working on safety and efficacy of lambda in patients diagnosed with COVID-19. So that's one part of biotechnology. See, I am into cars, automobiles for 10 years. So I am just trying to identify various methods where other companies are working. So being a biotechnology people, you will understand what is the efficacy of lambda in a patient and all that. So that's where they are trying to innovate medicines and procedures and diagnosis and vaccines and therapeutic devices in n number of ways that some way they want to save the humankind. And being a biotechnology student, you are part of it. You're going to be a part of a very important social development. economic development. Okay, so based on that, we are going to see a video. Wahid, please play the video on the third one.
Excuse me.
Finally, yeah.
Actually, we are running out of time, and we have a lot
Yes,
of
yes.
questions coming in.
Yeah. So shall I skip the video and just explain them what it is, or shall I skip
Yeah,
the
sure.
last one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
can
that
go ahead, ma'am.
video, yeah, that video which we were about to see is, you'll all, biotechnology students and anybody will understand that our body has two types of NAs, which is DNA and RNA. So when everybody are working on a DNA module, that is one company which is working on RNA module, ribonucleic acid. And they mentioned that if you're able to identify vaccine through RNA, and if they're able to just get the level of the thumb level of vaccine, the whole of Singapore can be treated. So they have found a very innovative way of, instead of working on DNA, they are working on an RNA. So that video was all about that. What I can do is, after your session, I will share this video and the PPT, and you can go through. And I suppose your college is going to do that. So you please go through the video after this thing, because we are running out of time. So again, as I was telling, who all can involve in this application other than biotechnology students? Who else can involve? Agricultural technology can involve, genetic engineering can involve, forensic. Forensic is a biotechnology where you need to understand the aftermaths, right? Food product, and then microbial biotechnology, and definitely there will be usage of computer science and software engineers into biotechnology to record all these data. You can't simply record data in writing for all this. You have to track it down, and you need engineers to work it out on that. You need electrical and electronic engineers to understand how well the ventilator works, and for how many % of humidity should go, and all that, right? So that's the fact about biotechnology and the current trends.